part of that experience with you was you were like, well, I won't say right at the basics, but it was like, it was more about how you build a meal, how you build flavors, it was, you started off, like, I think the first thing we did was, we got a stock started.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, that'll be ready in 2 days. And it's like, what? Like we're starting something, but it was build and build. Now we're going to take this and we're going to turn it into this. And, it was,
and then we're going to reuse it over here tomorrow afterwards.
Well, and that was the other thing too, right? Like
reuse,
I remember
reuse, right?
Well,
again, if you think like a restaurant, my profit margin is pretty low. I'm not throwing anything out.
Well, I'll tell you, we took those lamb shanks to make that lamb stock, and then we took the meat from those shanks and made it into a pate, which became part of the crudité platter. And I'll tell you, my family, they raved more about that, I think, than the rest of the meal. And that was,
they like the duck too. They like the duck skin.
They did. So and the marrow from marrow and that's it's so it seems almost, I don't know, not frivolous but simple, but you toasted up a couple of baguette with a little bit of olive oil on it. We took the marrow out of those bones. I think you put a little bit of oil, some salt and pepper.
I think I put fat in, actually. Duck fat.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Duck fat. and we just slathered that on toast, and that was the chef's treat. And oh my God, like that was like,
that's ours.
And that it's that kind of thing. Like how many people were just taking those bones and throwing them out? I don't know.
Most.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's also we're removed from our food, right? Living in this world, like it's not like I had to go out in the back and shoot the lamb myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't know. At one point in that butcher store, it looked like you were going to shoot the woman when she tried to give you those really scrawny lamb shanks. You looked at
her a little chefy all over her, didn't I?
You got any more downstairs? She just looked at you like, okay, you're not buying these. But I did notice that
there's only 3 ways to do things in life, Craig: the right way, the wrong way, or my way.
Well, it was like the whole tone of us in that store changed as soon as she, okay, you're not buying this. And then it was like, and I need duck fat, and I need this, and I need that. And I was like, oh, okay, you're making a meal.
Well, and she knew who I was at that point.
Or
what I was. You could see the shift, right? Like this guy. Yeah. And again, that's just confidence, right? It's just.
Well, part of it's confidence, but part of it's knowing. If like I went in and I'm got a recipe and it says I need 4 lamb shanks, and I'm in a good, like that was a good butcher shop,
right?
And they hand me 4 lamb shanks. I'm going to say thank you very much and pay for them, unless I know what a real lamb shank is supposed to look like.
Right.
It's the same with osso buco. Like. You go into a store and you can see some pretty scrawny, sad looking.
Lots of marrow.
Pardon me?
Lots of marrow.
Well, but you know what? Though you won't find those bones. You won't find that osso buco out.
No, those are going
you
to
have
people
to
that are
system.
No. That's the secret, right? And this is where part of what we need to discuss going forward is, and again, hopefully with the team site and some other people in the community, our special little community, we find that butcher and we get to know that butcher. All of us, like if there's 5 or 6 of us, right? And we all go. If you learn, you talk to people and you say, hi, what's your name? And isn't it a beautiful day? It goes a long way.
Yeah.
And especially if they start to know who you are, right?
Well,
and they know that You know, when I was making money in Toronto, when I went to my butcher, she knew I was there to dump a decent amount of money.
And you know, the thing is, somebody who's made a profession out of that, they appreciate somebody who appreciates what they're doing.
Well, it's relation, right? Yeah. And again, it's hard in this time, and
yeah,
hopefully it won't be this time forever, but I'm not so sure it won't be.
Yeah. But you know, I also think of that when we went into that cheese shop, like I was overwhelmed by the number of cheeses that I had never seen or heard of before.
All
I don't know how much
I think they were all from Quebec.
And it started out with you just saying, I need this kind of cheese, and this kind of cheese, which was, I think, a hard, a medium, and a soft. We were making a cheese plate, and you knew you needed a good stinky cheese, as you called it, for the soup. But you started to have a conversation with the guy, and you said, I'm looking for something like this. And before the guy grabbed something and said, here's a chunk, he sliced it off like that. And you were sort of like, yes, something like that, but could it, you know, a bit more flavor profile, sliced off. And he was taking his time with you because he knew that you know, that you.
Well, he knew you were about to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, I think that was the most expensive item on the menu. Actually, was the cheese.
As it should be. That and the wine. I'll tell you. That and the wine.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
And the beer.
But and that what a, you know, a really good point. Another nice choice that everybody really appreciated was that first course, serving that soup with that beer. I mean. Most people would think, how dare you serve a beer with a you know, a meal? And it's like that beer was a bock.
I mean,
it was
soup.
A dark. It was
delicious.
Yeah, it
was a dark beer. It was an ale. It was an ale. Stout, I think. Can't remember. Quebec beer.
It was, but it was good, and it was a perfect pairing.
Yeah.
Like, who knew? I didn't.
Well, again, though, you know, with lamb, I always prefer beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I probably wouldn't serve it for a fine dinner, but you know, a lamb sandwich and a beer is a good thing, especially with a lot of cheese grilled.
Stop!
It's mayonnaise on the outside instead of butter.
I got cold lamb in the fridge downstairs. I think you just described my lunch.
Grilled cheese lamb.
And a beer. Cheese lamb and a beer.